April 30th, 1975, the end of the Vietnam War.
Chạy đi con ơi, lính lại để bắn mình đó, chạy đi con ơi.
After the Vietnam War, people tried to escape for political and economical reasons. My family tried to escape Vietnam twice and failed. We spent 6 months in prison eating undercooked rice once a day in the blistering heat. And at night we were cold, standing in the mud up to our knees. When we were released and returned home, Ma told me I was going on holiday without the family.
Con đi xa, nhớ giữ gìn sức khỏe, cẩn thận, đi đường xe cộ. Khi nào tới chỗ, viết thơ cho ba má biết nha con.
I soon realized that I was attempting to escape Vietnam for the third time, but this time, on my own.
Má ơi, ai bắn mình vậy? Tại sao nó bắn mình vậy? Má, con sợ quá.
Im nha, đừng có lọc thịnh nha. Cho chắc là nó thấy mình. Nhiều khi nó bắn đợi thôi. Đừng có la cho nó nghe. Cuốn lại em đi. Xong rồi từ từ giải thoát ra.
The next day we safely made it onto international waters. It was a great adventure. But things quickly changed for the worse.
Thôi chết rồi, bây giờ chúng mình không còn gì cả. Chắc cả gia đình phải bỏ mạng ở đây thôi.
Bình tĩnh lại. Đừng có nói tầm bậy tầm bạ gì hết. Chưa chết gì, đừng có nói chết gì hết. Mặc dù bây giờ hết xăng, hết nước, hết đồ ăn, nhưng có thể sáng ngày mai có tàu nó đến đón mình. Đừng có lo gì hết, bình tĩnh lại đi, bình tĩnh lại.
Lại trời cho ngày mai chuyến tàu lại cứu mình.
Ê, có gì ở chân trời kìa.
Đâu có cái gì đâu.
Hình như có khói kìa. Mà có khói là chắc là có tàu.
Có thấy tàu gì đâu mà thấy.
Thì nhìn đằng kia kìa, nhìn kỹ đi. Đó, thấy chưa? Có tàu à.
Ê đúng rồi, hình như có tàu. Lấy cái gì quơ cho nó thấy đi. Đúng rồi, lấy cái áo quơ lên cho nó thấy. Nhảy lên cho nó thấy. Nhảy lên cho nó thấy mình đi.
Cô tôi ơi, ở đây nè. Ở đây nè. Cô tôi ơi. Cô tôi ơi. Cô tôi ơi, ở đây nè.
Má,
Ở đây cứu tôi đi. Cô tôi ơi.
Con đừng quá.
Finally, we are overwhelmed with joy with this new glimpse of hope. The wake from the ship, which almost sank us to our end, miraculously pushed us in the right direction, where we saw an oil rig, who then stopped and rescued us. An hour later, we watched our small boat be the victim of a tropical storm, crushing our boat. The oil rig just stayed still, like a floating city. Uncle, I found this in my parents' garage.
I remember this. It was a long time ago.
So, what happened after the oil rig rescued you?
After we got rescued, we were taken to the first of the 4 refugee camps, and I ended up staying in them for about 18 months.
What were the camps like?
The camps were good places. We were safe. There were a lot of us there, and we had barracks where we slept in. There were libraries where we could read books about the countries that we wanted to go to. There was a big community. I was 12 at the time, and I volunteered to build a Buddhist temple. So the camps were good places to be.
Must have been a cool holiday.
Well, it wasn't really a holiday. We all had to study really hard. Everyone had to learn to speak, read and write English or other languages, depending on which country they were potentially going to. I went through the English program really quickly and then volunteered to help other people learn it. And then the UN decided to employ me as an English teacher to teach others. We certainly all study and work really hard.
That's pretty serious. Were there a lot of young people like you?
Well, there were a lot of people there of all ages and backgrounds, and they all came with their own stories. And some of them were real horror stories too. I remember meeting some people who'd been there for 10 or more years already, and they weren't going anywhere because they couldn't go back to Vietnam. Other countries didn't accept them, so they couldn't migrate anywhere. Some of them even died in the camps. The biggest fear that they had were to actually die there in a place of limbo. Their families wouldn't know what happened to them at all. So it was a serious place.
So, you're pretty lucky to be in New Zealand.
And so are you. So don't ever forget who you are or how lucky you are to be here in this country. Okay?